Rumor is that 19-year-old first-round picks will be AHL eligible as of next year. So that first year they would be eligible would be last year's draft class. That included Brady Martin, Jake O'Brien, Nesbitt, etc. I think we've got two different viewpoints on this, Colin.
Yeah, I absolutely hate this.
Yeah, go ahead. You have the floor.
No.
So for me, I think I would hate it if it was everyone. If you're drafted in the 7th round and could go to the AHL, like, I don't know about that. First rounders, I'm okay with. Like, I understand why NHL clubs would want to send them to the American Hockey League. You get into a Sam Dickinson situation. Like, was Sam Dickinson awesome with London last year? Did we enjoy watching him? Yes. I'm not going to deny that whatsoever. Was he at a level where, yeah, he was, of course he was good enough to play in the OHL. I'm not going to say that. But was he too good?
He was 18.
Was he too good to be in the OHL?
No.
And, like, to me, like, so sorry, I'll rephrase that because that would have been this year, I guess, so ignore me. But there are first-round talents that they get to 19 years old and they're too good for the OHL. That's my personal opinion, and I think if you're looking to grow the game and allow more paths to success for these guys, then I'm good with first-rounders heading to the AHL at 19. Again, if we were looking at everyone who was drafted and they are AHL eligible at 19, well, okay, cool. The OHL is for, I should say the CHL in general, is for 16, 17, and 18-year-olds. Cool. And then the next 2 years, you're gone. I've got an issue with that. First rounders, I'm okay with. I think I'm more okay with it than a lot of people. Certainly more than Colin Ward. Yeah, that's where I see it. And everyone who's drafted in the first round is not ready for the AHL at 19 years old. There are certain guys that, for one, they're not tough enough. We know what the AHL is, and we understand that there is now a cap on how many players you can dress over a certain age. I understand that. They're starting to become more of a, we'd like to develop guys into the NHL, which is the whole point of the minor leagues, is to get them up to the NHL, and kind of what the GOHL has worked on with the OHL this year is the development league. But like I said, you've got 19-year-olds that have no business being in the, so 100%. That it goes on the NHL team. You hope they recognize.
Colin, you want the list before you get going?
Hey, you know what? Off topic. Shout out to the Brantford Bulldogs and the Saginaw Spirit. Top point leaders back-to-back years. Klepoff and Misa last year, and this year Van Acker, Lardis last year for the Bulldogs. Shout out to that. Yes, Brandon, put the list on. Reece actually proved my point with the veteran rule.
This would be next year's list of guys that would be eligible under this new rule.
Okay.
You want to read them off for the audio listeners?
Yeah, we can go through them. So there's names on this list that were like, yeah, AHL, sure. Matthew Schaefer, Michael Misa, Caleb Denoyer, which congratulations to him. Just signed his entry-level deal. Phoenix Coyotes. Shout out to the Coyotes. Brady Martin, Jake O'Brien, Radim Mertka, almost wasn't a Buffalo Sabre. Shout out to Colton Parayko. Ben Kindle, Jack Nesbitt, Jackson Smith, Braden Coots, Cole Retchney, Cameron Reed, and Henry Brustevich. And again, that's CHL wide. That's not just the OHL. Those are guys who as well. Correct. Yes, correct.
Not on the list on YouTube.
Go ahead, Wardy. There's your list.
I absolutely hate this. You know what? And I think back to this year and last year. Easton Cowan, he was great. He was incredible in the OHL for sure. But when I look at the debacle that the Leafs development is for Easton Cowan's game, is a complete joke. Hey, I'm not done. No, I'm not done yet. Let me talk. So Easton Cowan, they've messed him up so bad. Why do we rush guys into the NHL? As a Detroit Red Wing fan growing up, it was always a thing where guys are going to go to Grand Rapids. They're going to overdevelop in a way and then come up. That's not a thing anymore then. And the reason why I say this is because the AHL, as you mentioned, has a veteran rule. A veteran rule is in place for a reason. One, you're going to call up. So I'm going to look up Brady Martin right now. Brady Martin has been hurt this year. Obviously, World Juniors, the injury. There's been up and downs in Brady Martin's game. He's a heck of a player. He is a heck of a player, without a doubt. But does that do him good playing on the third line in the AHL in a checking role? Absolutely not. It gets you hurt. It changes your game. And I speak back to this, another Sioux Greyhound elite all-star player who was drafted by the Coyotes. Funny that the Coyotes are on the screen. But when I look back at Barrett Hayton had to play in the NHL, right? We had to get him up there. He has to play in the NHL instead of going back to Sioux. Now, all of a sudden, he's a third line checker, third line center in the NHL. That's not a bad thing. But he was never that in the OHL. In the OHL, he was a high-end prospect. He was a goal scorer. He was a captain of Team Canada at the World Juniors. Then all of a sudden, where is he in the NHL? He's a third-line center. I think these guys, I think it forces guys. I don't know why there's a rush for guys to go up to the NHL. It worked. It's worked for guys. Like, I look around the league and I look at guys that have been up and down in the NHL who've come from the NHL or from the OHL. It's worked. I hate this rule. I hate it. Sorry, Reece. I think that, like, I look at this list and the guys out of the OHL, I really only think Kayshawn Aitchison is the only guy physically that can play at this level. And I don't think it's a knock at anybody right now, but I think the AHL is it's a under-respected league when we talk about this from the league. Like, I think that the AHL is a very tough league. It's still an incredibly tough league. I watch the Grand Rapids Griffins games and I look at guys like Amadeus Lombardi who lit it up in Flint. You know, like, it's a grind.
Would have made his NHL debut if he didn't get hurt.
Exactly. And it's a grind. It's a grind. I look at his extra year there, and I know it's first round picks. And this is exceeding it. But I look at Nick Lardis' year last year. If he's in the AHL, he's not playing in the NHL this year. He doesn't have the 70-goal season. He's not coming into training camp with the talk. I truly believe that.
He also wasn't a first-round pick, though.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I mentioned. I know he's not a first-round pick, but I just think
gotcha.
that I just think that, like, I look at like, I know closely with Jake O'Brien. I mentioned Brady Martin. I look at Jake O'Brien. I mean, he's a great player, but he spends a lot of time on the ice right now when he gets hit. AHL, man, you're going to get broken. I hate to say it, and I don't know why there's a rush. I don't know why there is a rush to get to the NHL. When I look around the league and I look at some of these guys, and I'm thinking, man, the NHL is tough. I know Matthew Schaefer is exceeding all expectations right now, but it's not like it's Connor McDavid. Those guys, absolutely. They should have exceptional status in the NHL. But
sure. Yeah.
I just think it's tough. It's very tough. Like, with the NCAA and now this, I mean, what do we do? Like,
well, and the reason I wanted to throw my
killer.
hand in the air, and actually I've got a few points just to kind of go over here. So the AHL, I looked it up just to kind of, for anyone that doesn't know what the rules are. So the AHL veteran rule essentially restricts the number of experienced players a team can dress so that they do focus on development. Rosters must include, and this is game by game, must include 12 players with 260 or fewer professional games, while a maximum of 6 spots can be filled by veterans, quote unquote, 320 plus games, or veteran exempt 260 to 320. With specific limitations on veteran exempt. You can go look that up if you want to. So I just wanted to bring that up quickly. Second, the rush to get players to pro is, one, money. And I know NIL and NCAA is a big part of that. Every kid's dream is to get to the NHL. And if they think turning pro gets them there quicker,
100%. It's
whether we think it does or not, like I'm kind of arguing for it. But in terms of players who might be ready for the AHL and who aren't, I'm looking at this list.
Redeem Mirka because he's
Schaefer doesn't count. That's different.
I think Mirka should be there. I've seen him play a lot.
Yeah, out of everyone, I haven't watched him enough, so I can't really comment on Mirka. Brandon, like you said, if you think he's ready, you're Sabres, you're all over that. If you think he's ready, then he's ready. I fully trust you on your assessment there.
What's Rochester's D look like, Brandon?
Yeah.
Like, what pairing would he be on?
Well, he played a couple of games before he got sent back. So they sent him back to Seattle after he played a couple of weeks. Again, he was on the third pair, but like he was getting sheltered minutes as an 18-year-old.
So I'll ask you this, Colin, and Brandon, you can even chime in if you'd like to get around this, where it's automatic, first rounders can go to the AHL at 9.
Yeah.
You mentioned exceptional status, Colin. We've got that in the OHL, we've got that in the WHL, we've got that in the QMJH. Would there be a board that should be created for this to the AHL? Instead of just,
100%.
If you're in the first round and you're 19 years old, you can go to the AHL, no matter what. We don't care. Teams can send them. What if you had to go to a board, whether it's the NHL and AHL combined, whether it's just AHL. I don't know if you wrote the ECHL into this. I doubt it. But what if you went into a situation like that where you had to go in front of a board, explain your case, back it up with the numbers, with your play?
I agree.
Maybe your size plays into the factor, something like that. I'm curious how that would look, what people's thoughts would be on that.
No, that's something I'd get on board with for sure. But letting every single team, I mean, I think that's a stretch. Like, some of these guys, I don't think it's fair. Like, I agree with that. If it's exceptional talent, without a doubt. Like I said, right now, when I look at the league around the Ontario Hockey League, only one guy really stands out to me, and it's Keyshawn Aitchison, because he already plays a physical game. He's already running around a little bit. Like, I think the AHL, like, he's ready for that level. I don't know. Like, that's the only guy I can think of. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's a hard jump, and I think we're going to see a lot more labeled status of bust. And maybe it's because I witnessed the Red Wings do it a bunch with Philip Zadina, like, bust. Like, we're
Ken not Holland huge fans of Michael Rasmussen.
Yeah, like, Ken Holland had to rush them up, right? Like, why?
Yeah.
Like, why? So I think that the extra year isn't a bad thing. I think that, like, it's kind of a disrespect toward Major Junior, I take it as, and especially on the flip side. On the flip side, Elliotte Friedman was the one who talked about it on Saturday Night Headlines. And on the flip side, Elliotte Friedman's the one on his show on 32 Thoughts has been talking about expanding the draft to a year older, at getting drafted at 18. So then what does this do then? So then first year players will be eligible if that ever gets changed in the next collector's bargain. That won't be this one, obviously, but the next one, that'll be the thing. And I just see the way it's going. And I look at the hockey landscape right now, and I look back to the minor hockey in this open border crap. Like, man, I used to love it playing for my hometown. Like, I would do whatever I could to play for my hometown. Like, I don't think anybody cares anymore. Like, I remember, like, baseball. We talked about it last week, Reece, off the record, but we talked about baseball. All these guys going to play in these city teams, these all-star teams, and paying a lot of money to go nowhere. Like, I don't like the message, and I know money is a big thing too, because you want to get rushed to get that contract. You want to get that bag right away.
Yeah.
And it all started in football. Football was like that in the NFL before college, all this NIL stuff. Football players, they want to go to the draft because they want to get that bag, pay for their parents, pay for their family, without a doubt. And now this is going to happen in the NHL, where guys are rushing to get to the league. There's guys that are still battling it out in the NHL. Like, I look at some guys around the league, like some of these veteran guys, like I'm looking at Jamie Benn. Jamie Benn broke Dylan Larkin's neck. Like, I'm looking at like guys like Ryan O'Reilly. Like, these guys are still in the league. Like, they're gonna, like, I think it's a dangerous slope for guys, and I don't know why we rush it, because I look at a guy like, and I know he's not a first round pick, but I look at a guy like AJ Spellecy, and I'm thinking, man, he's excelling. He's excelling. He's been good on Windsor. He's been great on Windsor. He goes to the World Juniors. He was one of the best players for the U.S. Comes back to Windsor. He's been great. Like, Liam Greentree, a first round pick. Like, I think this has been great for his development. I think this has been great. Like, Merrick Van Acker's your leading goal scorer in the NHL, or in the OHL. If he's playing in the AHL this year, he's playing once every 5 games. And I can honestly say that with Chicago. Like, he's great in the OHL, but the AHL, man, he's probably a scratch. Like, I'm looking at guys around the AHL. Like, I mean, Thomas Hamra, his teammate, playing one every 3 games in Belleville. Like, it's a tough league. And I think that, like, everyone I talk to about it, like, it's great, but it puts the pressure on the teams to still make logical decisions. Don't fall in love with a player, because I know I ripped on the Leafs because you saw that with Easton Cowan, how, he's too good to play for the Marlies, but then we're only going to play him 1 in every 3 games at the time. Now, obviously, he's in the lineup with them being no good.
And he's going to sit at home during the Olympics doing nothing.
Yeah, exactly. I would have put him in the AHL as long as I could. Let him play for the Marlies. Let him be a first-line player for them. Why you have to rush him up to the NHL? Why? And Brandon, you're seeing that with the Sabres this year. I know the Sabres had a lot of guys come up from the AHL, like that Rochester relationship. Like, Reece, we saw with Grand Rapids, like, the Red Wings have forever left guys there for too long. I just think it's be patient. Realistically, getting into the AHL at 20 or 19 isn't going to make a difference, in my opinion. I think 20s, you're older, you're in your 20s, you're not a teenager, you're not living at someone's house just to get by. Like I struggle to like it.
I'm with you on that, like 2 to 3.
I think what it'll do also too is that's going to expose a lot of teams' development, and if you get it
have a lot
wrong,
more bust.
like that is. I'm not going to say that'll dig yourselves a grave by any means, but all it takes is one for it to ruin it for the rest of the organization and everyone involved, where you send a first-round pick when he's 19 years old. Let's say you draft him 11th overall. Let's just random number. Ben Kindle on this list at number 11 to Pittsburgh. But let's say you draft to get 11th overall, send him to the AHL when he's 19. He's still in the AHL when he's 25. Well, it's like, well, what would have happened if you kept him in junior for another year? And again, that's one of those questions where nobody has any idea how that would have turned out. But the way the modern world looks at things, you screwed up one player, so you're going to screw up everyone else. And it's like, well, and that like, and it's unfortunate because not every situation's the same. There are first round picks that don't pan out in the NHL. It happens. Nail Yakupov, unfortunately, an OHL alum, played for Sarnia, but look how highly touted he was. He had some decent years in the NHL, but and again, imports are different. Imports can still go to the AHL earlier. That's always been a thing. I think that'll continue to be a thing. But like I said, it takes one guy. It takes one team to ruin one guy, and for it to all come crumbling down. So I think, again,
you gotta be smart.
First round picks, I'm okay with. However, you need to be very, very careful about which first round picks you're sending there. Again, 2 through 7 makes 0 sense. I think if you're a 6th and 7th round pick, going to the AHL is not going to solve anything quick. Like, it's not going to get them to the NHL quicker. Those are guys that are more than likely going to need more time in the pros in the AHL. Like, we're looking at 3, 4, 5 years, unless you're Emmett Finney.
No, there's another one, right? Like,
again, there's an exception. It happens. Like, some guys will succeed, some guys will fail. But that's where I think you have the first rounders. It's like, I'm fine with that. But again, you got to be very, very careful. Very careful 100%. About who actually gets sent there and how you deal with that.
Honestly, I hope a GM makes that decision to say, no, you're not ready. I'll eat it. I'll eat the media. I will eat the.
You know what? I think that's what it's going to be immediately off the hop. I think you're going to see that immediately right away.
If our guy's still around, he's going to do it. And
right. Yeah.
you know that. Like, I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't it's a tough league. The AHL. I mean, you already got a roster. You have it's tough. Like, I look at some AHL teams and I'm thinking, well, Jake O'Brien right now on Coachella Valley he's on the third line. He's on the third line. He's not a third line player. He's going to get hurt. He's not going to be able to check guys at the AHL level for the whole season, a longer season like that. It's hard. Like, it's tough. Like, I'm going to give props to a general manager who says, no, you're not ready. I'll eat it. But go to World Juniors, go play junior, go get on the scene at World Juniors. I know there's a lot of guys that don't turn out after World Juniors, but there's also a lot of guys that do turn out because of going to World Juniors and being a star. So I think that it'll be interesting to see. I just think that what's going to happen, I mean, I know it's not a college show, but what's going to happen with guys going to college? Like, what now? Like, oh, what? You're going for a 6-month degree? Like that doesn't happen. Might as well go to a community college like the old star baseball players that are still kicking. But biggest waste of money there is. But anyway, I just think it's a lot.